All right, welcome back. Today we're going to talk about the CMC MPD, which stands for multi-purpose device, meaning it's a device that you can raise and lower with without having to change over. It's a wonderful device. It's been replaced by the CMC Clutch for the most part, but it's still a good device and it's still good to know. So what do we have here? Let's just go over some of the components. The handle here is for the lower handle. You have a parking brake with a lock and an unlock on it. If you flip it over and open the back, you have a shiv in here that only goes one direction. Okay, you also have a little cam in here that locks and unlocks. You have a friction notch, and then you also have an additional friction hook right here for heavier weights. And that's pretty much the gist of it, and you'll see how everything works when we go ahead and load this. Okay, speaking of loading, probably the worst part of this is loading it, because it confuses a lot of people. Yeah, just the way it's designed and the way it looks, and people have a hard time orienting this device. So before you load it, the first thing you need to do is orient this device correctly. Okay, so these two eyelets right here they go to your anchor. Okay, so if my load is this direction, we want to point it that way. Get your eyelets to the anchor in the right position. Okay, that's the first thing you have to do. Sometimes people get these confused and they'll flip it like this, but what you want to do is have it oriented correctly. Okay, the second thing you need to remember is to have your parking brake in the unlocked position. Okay, this is the arrow right here, and you can see it's in the unlocked position. Okay, the other thing you want to orient yourself to, because you'll see here in a minute, is the shoulder right here is where your load strand goes from your load into your device. Okay, that's very important, because if you load this thing backwards, it's not going to work correctly. Okay, all right, so three things, and by far the most common mistake people make is loading this incorrectly or taking forever to load it, because it confuses them. Okay, so orient it correctly, pay attention to your shoulder, and pay attention to your parking brake. Okay, now once you've done that, you want to flip it upside down, and in the back you'll see a diagram how this rope goes. Okay, here's your load side, like I talked about before, this little shoulder. Okay, and you want the rope to come from there around. Okay, so let's grab our rope. Okay, we got to open this cover up to get our rope in here, and this is our load strand. It's going to go in that shoulder we talked about, and we're going to go around the shiv in between the little cam device and this little V-notch. We're going to put the rope in just like that. Okay, and then we're going to close it. All right, now this little diagram comes in handy at this point, because we can look at the way our rope is in there and can compare it to this little diagram, and it's correct. Okay, also I want to point out to you, it says 13 millimeter here. That's upside down right now, but pay attention to your rope size. The rope has to match your device. That's true of any device, and if it doesn't, it won't work. Okay, but anyway, getting back, everything matches the diagram. We can rotate it back over. Okay, and again, we want to double check. This is our strand going to our load. It's going into that shoulder right here. That matters. Okay, now we can go ahead and put this into our anchor. Okay, that's loaded. And once we've done that, making sure we're still in the unlocked position, we want to pull our slack out. Okay, that's going to stiffen it up, and we want to double check to make sure it's actually going to lock. Okay, and it is, so it works well. Okay, so now here's where the magic comes in. You know, and really, truly, I keep saying this, but once you learn how to load this quickly, everything is really smooth after that. Okay, so let's make this into a 3-to-1 haul system. To do that, I'm just going to get got a rope grab here. You might have a prusik or what have you, it doesn't matter, as long as it grabs the rope. Okay, and then we're just going to make a typical 3-to-1 haul system. Put our single pulley in there and put it into our carabiner. Okay, right, and then come back here, you'll see that we have a 3-to-1 haul system. So, and again, make sure it's in the unlocked position, and we can go ahead and haul. Okay, and as soon as we let go, that instantly grabs, so we don't lose any progress, and it's in a locked position. Okay, now what if I want to make a 5-to-1 out of this? It's very simple. Go ahead and put it in the lock. Whenever you make a changeover or do something different, lock your device. Come up here, take your single pulley and grab it just like this. Go ahead and take it off of your carabiner, and then grab a double pulley. And what you want to do is you want to orient the double pulley the way it's going to go, and you're going to bisect these two strands and load them into your double pulley. Okay, take that double pulley and load it into where the single was. Okay, grab your single pulley and pull it back towards your MPD. Okay, take a carabiner and put it into the becket of your MPD. Okay, at this point we can go ahead and unlock it. Okay, and now we have a 5-to-1 mechanical advantage system. Okay, we can just go ahead and raise. And what's really nice about that is we can convert this from a 3-to-1 to a 5-to-1 without ever having to worry about our load shifting or anything like that. Okay. Okay, that's basically the haul capabilities in a nutshell. You start out with a 5-to-1 or a 3-to-1 or a 5-to-1. If you do start out with a 3-to-1, you can convert it to a 5-to-1 if you need it, and you'll have a great little haul system. Very efficient. The pulley in here is very efficient. The pulleys you put on the traveling pulley are efficient. Makes a great little system. Okay, now what if I want to lower now? And this is where this device shines. Okay, so first thing you want to do is you want to put it into the locked position, and then go ahead and break your system down from the haul. hard time with this rescue sender today. Okay. All right, so we have cleared the hull off the system, and we are ready to lower. And before I lower, I want to show you this diagram again. They want you to, for friction, they want you to follow this diagram. So what they don't want you doing is holding this strand parallel with your lower strand. They want you to take it and pull it back this way. Okay? So this is the configuration you should be in before you start lowering. Okay? All right, once you're set, go ahead and unlock it. This handle here has little arrows on it. They're kind of hard to see. You want to pull that up, and then you want to turn it counterclockwise. Okay, and when you do, you can go ahead and lower your load. Okay, and anytime I drop this handle, it instantly stops. Now, if I need more friction, I want to come back here, and you see this little hook right here. I can go ahead and load it right here like this for more friction for a heavy load, and then you would hold it just like this, and then go ahead and work your device. Now I don't have a heavy enough load to lower. It won't move. It's not heavy enough, but if it were heavy enough, it would work. Okay, and that's how you lower. And again, the beauty of this device is that anytime I need to raise, all I have to do is put it in lock mode and go ahead and convert it to a hull. It's a great little device. Okay, hopefully that helps. Now there's something else you can do with this, and that is run it as a belay. I'm going to go ahead and, well, I might be able to do it just now. Let me lower this. We'll have to simulate a load on here, but okay, so you're gonna have to pretend a little bit with me here, that this is instead of a hull and a lower now, we're running this as a separate belay. Okay, so this is my load strand. Okay, now it's very easy to do this if you're raising somebody up a cliff or what have you. Okay, all you have to do is take up slack. Okay, extremely easy. And if for some reason the belay had to engage, it would instantly grab. Okay, so on a raising system, you can't beat this. I mean, it's perfect. Okay, now the problem comes into play when you have to do a lower system. Okay, you have to belay on a lower system. But this thing is very sensitive to this operation. Now, so imagine here's my load strand again, and I need to go down with it. Okay, it wants to grab constantly in this position. Okay, because the weight of the device is working against you. Okay, you're having to hold it and feed this. So what you can do is drop it like this, and you're going to introduce a little bit more slack into the system, and you're going to feed it just like this. Okay, and then if it has to catch, it'll instantly catch. Okay, but you can see it wants it. It is very sensitive. Okay, and a common problem you encounter is if the lower team lowers a little too fast and you're trying to keep up with them, it's going to catch on you. Okay, so you have to be cognizant if you're lowering that if someone's using the MPD here as a belay on a lower, it's very sensitive and you need to go slow so this guy can stay up. Okay, because the second you try to go fast with it, it's going to catch. Okay, so it's a matter of pushing in and pulling out. Okay, and you can go fairly quick once you learn that. But if you try to go too fast, it's gonna grab every time. Okay, so it will work as a belay for the raise and lower, but just keep in mind, if you're going to use it as a belay in a lower system, very sensitive. Okay, and you guys don't want to be fighting each other, just locking up all the time trying to lower somebody. Okay, so it's something you have to practice. Okay, all right, I think that's it. That's all I need to cover. It's a great device. The clutch, like I said before, has really kind of replaced this. But you can still buy these new, and you can still buy them in the secondary market. They're a whole lot cheaper than buying a new clutch, and they work good. They're just a little more. They take a little more skill to use than a clutch. So, but it's a good compromise. All right. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.